What's up, y'all? This is Taylor Brown, your mental performance coach, coming to you from Enduramind headquarters in beautiful Austin, Texas. This is the fourth video in your 12-part course. In this video, you'll learn about how to update your performance operating system, or what I like to call the POS. The first part of updating your operating system is paying attention to what's happening right now. Let's get started. In the last video, we talked about the difference between having a stuck mind and an unstuck mind. Remember, with an unstuck mind, you can observe your experience as if from a distance. This distance gives you the space to choose your responses to those experiences. George Mumford, the mental performance coach who coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen, and many more, calls this space the eye of the hurricane. Because no matter the turmoil swirling around, you can always observe from the calm center and mindfully respond. The first thing we have to do is interrupt your cruise control. Now this sounds pretty simple, but it's a huge step towards moving from stuck to unstuck. The first skill in becoming unstuck is learning how to pay attention. Look, I'm sure you've had parents, teachers, and coaches asking you to pay attention for much of your life, but has anyone ever taught you how to pay attention? Paying attention is crucial to interrupting your cruise control because cruise control feels so normal for us sometimes that it's really hard to spot. You need to develop your ability to pay attention to what's happening in the present moment. I'm talking about paying attention to things like thoughts, emotions, feelings, beliefs, behaviors, decisions, patterns. These are all things that, without present moment attention, can fly completely under the radar unnoticed. If you don't learn to pay attention to your experiences, then your reactions to them will control you. Here's an example. Imagine if every time you receive feedback or criticism, you took it personally and held a grudge against the person providing it. Or perhaps when you face failure, you tend to shut down and disengage. Maybe your pattern is to give really good effort at things that you know that you're good at, but to slack off on those things that don't come as easily for you. These are all important things to pay attention to in the moments when they are occurring. And it's not only paying attention that's important, but it's also the way that you pay attention, which is non-judgmentally. A judgment is a decision that something is good, bad, right, wrong, etc. Many times we have preconceived judgments that influence our perceptions of situations and experiences. We come into situations with biases, prejudices, likes, dislikes. Judgment is a part of our cruise control because it helps us navigate uncertain terrain based on our past experiences. The problem is, like I mentioned before, these judgments are often based on the SOS and therefore will not help with performance. Non-judgment, on the other hand, allows you to shed these lenses that judgment puts on us and see the present moment more clearly for what it actually is. With high attention and low judgment, you build awareness of what's happening for you in the present moment. You need to be aware in order to exert choice. The last and most important step of interrupting your cruise control is acceptance of what is. We need to accept the truth of what is before we can move forward. The more you resist any experience, the more stuck you will become to it. Because resistance increases the charge associated with certain experiences. Here's a sports example. I was working with a baseball team, and one of the senior captains, who was a big hitter, was experiencing a slump and was striking out where he thought he should be hitting big. He was stressed out about this, to say the least. His batting average was in the dirt, and his confidence was super low. The more he struck out, the greater the anxiety and stress grew inside of him. Therefore, every time he stepped up to the plate, he would have the same thoughts and emotions. What if I strike out again? I should be hitting these. What's wrong with me? My batting average was so much better my junior year. So every time he thought about these things, he would just try to block them out. He'd try to push them away or resist them in any way he knew how. The problem was he was blaming these thoughts and emotions for his slump. But the harder he pushed against these inner experiences, the more they messed up his performance. Because like I said, the more you resist, the more something will persist. So in the middle of one game where he was struggling, I grabbed him when he ran off the field after a strikeout, and we had a chat. I said, "Man, what are you feeling right now?" And he said, "Coach, man, I'm feeling terrible. I'm frustrated. I'm so afraid of screwing up and just letting everybody down." And I said, "Well, are you trying to push all that stuff away?" He said, "Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about it. I need to get that stuff out of my mind. It's totally messing with me." And this is where the breakthrough came for him. I said, the more you resist all that stuff, the stronger it will get. It makes sense that you're feeling that, so just accept the thoughts or anxiety are there, acknowledge their presence, and then on the next time up at bat, just focus on just one foundational thing that you can do to make contact with the ball. He broke his slump on the next at bat. When he allowed himself to have those experiences instead of trying to avoid them, they no longer controlled him. You see what I'm trying to say here? I call it rolling out the welcome mat. Roll out the welcome mat for any experience, and then those experiences will not have control over you. Pay attention non-judgmentally to build awareness, and with that new awareness, practice acceptance. From this unstuck mind, you can then make more mindful choices. Don't forget to check out the chat I had with a top-level athlete on this same subject, and then make sure to forward the action with the attached exercise. Remember, performance starts within.